What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and welcome to another episode of our First Down Training show. Today, we're going to be talking about if 7-on-7 has ruined football. So we're going to talk about the pros of 7-on-7, the cons of 7-on-7, and how I truly feel about what 7-on-7 has turned this whole football world into. Then we're going to be answering some questions that you guys left on a previous episode of this show. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get started. All right, so 7-on-7, I mean, that's one of the most popular things that all football players, with the exception of linemen, do in the offseason. And a lot of people think that the 7-on-7 culture, the way 7-on-7 is played, has kind of ruined football and kind of made football like something a little bit different than what they're used to. So I don't think 7-on-7 has ruined football. I think football is still football. You put the pads on, 11-on-11, guy across from you, the best guy's going to win at the end of the day. The 7-on-7 warriors who are only good at 7-on-7 still are not that great in 11-on-11 because you put the pads on, you put the full gear on, there's contacts, there's a little bit of a difference. My problem with 7-on-7, and we're going to get into this, is generally the culture that it creates in some cases and the unrealistic aspects of it that can kind of hurt athletes. Because like the entire goal of 7-on-7, like the whole reason that 7-on-7 was even made a thing was for off-season development, right? Like so like you play 7-on-7 so you could get better. So when you play tackle, you're a much better athlete and you have those game reps, you have experience, you have chemistry with your quarterbacks and your receiver, with your quarterback, or with your quarterback with your receivers, whatever. Defensive guys are better at coverage skills. Like all that stuff is why we play 7-on-7. Not this extra BS that we see, but I think a lot of coaches and a lot of teams do athletes disservices. So the first disservice I want to talk about is the unrealistic plays and the unrealistic footwork from quarterbacks. So everybody knows the whole quarterback stigma, where the guy's under center, he takes a one-step drop and he holds it and then he throws. Never going to happen in a game when you take an under center snap. Number two, quarterback drops back and then he takes like 85 hitches before he throws the ball. That again, not realistic. You're never going to do that in a game because you're going to end up right in your center's butt and you're going to probably fall over. You're not going to be able to see. Flat out. Don't care how tall you are. So that right there bothers me. I think a lot of 7-on-7 coaches are the backpack guys. You know, they put the backpack on, they got the play sheet in the backpack, but it's all about them. They got the guys taking the photos of them, the videos of them, they're posting on social media, like acting like they're you know what, and they've never, like here's my thing, they don't have, I guess you could say, like the grounds to be able to coach a quarterback because they have no experience playing quarterback. And I'm not saying that they're not allowed to coach, like anybody could coach if they want. But you need to make sure as a coach, you hold yourself accountable to be able to teach these athletes, because you're in an authority position. You need to make sure that you hold yourself accountable that I am teaching these athletes the correct way to do things. These athletes are paying me a grip of money to be their like coach, if you will, and I'm out there just calling up BS plays where like every single receiver's running a drag and a wheel and they're going up the middle of the field and like, oh, the running back seam, and it's like, when in the hell are they ever gonna do that? Like, and here's the other thing. Does anybody care? Like really, does anybody care if you won Pylon or OT7 once August rolls around? Nope. I don't know who the hell won Pylon. I don't know who the hell won OT7. Because guess what? It's August. Guess what? We're putting the pads on. I care who won state. I care who won league. I don't care if you got some plastic trophy in a 7-on-7 tournament. But the problem is that a lot of these coaches, like that's what they care about. Like, oh my God, we're going to do it. But like really, is it about the athletes or is it about your ego? That's my problem. It's not really the athletes that I have a problem with. It's generally the coaches that I have a problem with. These guys are not qualified to be teaching quarterbacks about progressions. Oh, hey, throw it to the post. If it's not there, throw the dig. It's like, okay, why? Why is the post not going to be open? Because the safety's taking it away. Okay, then I look to the dig. If the dig's taken away by the middle backer, then I look for the running back on the choice. That is how you explain it. But a lot of these guys can't do that. They're the backpack guys with nothing in it and the slides on the field. And they're talking all kinds of trash and they're the big social media guys. And that's the problem. That's the thing that bothers me. Because you can't call yourself a coach if you're taking people's money and you're teaching them incorrect things to do. Everybody's got, you know, and listen, everybody's got their methods and trainers got their methods. And I'm not necessarily talking about trainers. I'm talking about dudes who are running passing concepts that these guys and these kids will never actually have to run in an actual team setting. So you're actually getting them worse. You're not getting them better. I'm talking about the dudes that let the quarterbacks take a one-step drop and throw a freaking underhand pass. Like that should not be in 7-on-7 football, because 7-on-7 is about developing the athletes and helping them compete, helping them get used to competition and helping them get used to actual real football so it translates when they put the pads on. That's my first problem, okay? Now, enough enough of that. I go all day, you guys. I get fired up about this crap, dude. Number two, the problem is the culture of 7-on-7. I think somebody made a video, like, I want to say about a year ago, like last offseason, not this past one, but the one before that. And they were talking about how the number of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and like showboating penalties and all that stuff has gone way up in high school sports. And he was trying to make the parallel with 7-on-7 culture. I kind of would agree with him, to be honest with you. Like, I think that's a fair take. Like, it was kind of positive and negative. I always read the comments just because I like getting other people's perspectives, because maybe that could help my perspective, you know what I mean, understand certain things. I recommend all you guys do that. Like, and again, I don't even recommend you just take what I say and just listen. Go see it for yourself. Like, you know, go to a 7-on-7 tournament, see if what I'm talking about is BS, right? But like, I was reading the comments and half of them were positive, half of them were negative, saying like, oh, you're just a hater, like it's better these kids are playing 7-on-7 than on the streets, you know, like gangbang and whatever. It's like, all right, bro, like I get that argument, I understand that, but like, here's my thing, like as a coach, like people don't understand the effect that like coaches and teachers have on athletes. Like I know me personally, like I remember a lot of things that different coaches would tell me, different like, you know, lessons that coaches would tell me, different experience with the coaches, because you're an authority figure. Like just like a teacher at a school, like people put so much emphasis on teachers, but I feel like the same emphasis maybe isn't put on coaches as much, and I feel like they're not as held as accountable as like maybe a teacher would be in a classroom, because generally these coaches don't have anybody to answer to. A teacher in a classroom maybe has somebody to answer to, like a principal or a boss or whatever, and they could lose their job. Your 7-on-7 head coach, you know, who do you answer to? You answer to yourself. So like my issue is like, you know, they let the kids get away with, you know, talking all kinds of trash, you know, like wearing this stupid gear. And you know, I'm not as big of a hater on the gear as what I once was. Like kids want to wear what they want to wear what you want to wear, but you better be able to back it up. That's all I'm going to say. If you're wearing a freaking, you know, like furry ski mask and you get burned on a fade, like you need to take the ski mask off. Like that's all I'm trying to say. If you're wearing pajama pants, you better freaking sling the ball. And if you can't, you need to take the pajama pants off and wear an athletic shirt and athletic shorts. That's all I'm going to say. That's just my personal opinion. But the problem is, like, I feel like coaches are not on athletes enough about the cussing, about the swearing, like about talking trash. Like you see stuff, like I see videos of like 7-on-7 teams. Like you guys have probably seen this. Like this is the culture I'm talking about. Like you got Cam Newton. Like Cam Newton, one of the best college football players of all time, played in the NFL. You got a group of kids chirping Cam Newton saying, where's your rings at? Where are your rings at? Whatever. And like what I hear from people is that Cam Newton gets that at every single 7-on-7 tournament. Some people might argue that he brings it on himself because, you know, he's a loud guy, he's a confident guy. But Cam Newton's not going at anybody. He might get a little fired up sometimes, but like you got kids saying that to Cam Newton. Like when I was a kid, I wouldn't even think about saying that to like Michael Vick. Like say what you want about Michael Vick, but like that was the guy in the NFL at that time. Like people don't understand the respect level there. And I feel like this 7-on-7 culture is maybe not teaching athletes enough about respect and enough about, you know, like, and again, football is a very, you know, it's an aggressive game. It's a lot of testosterone on the field. You're going to talk some trash. But like, I feel like discipline is just not a thing. Like I feel like just coaches don't emphasize discipline. You got athletes saying the N word, the F word, whatever, and you know, whatever, fine. You know, maybe they think that's the parents' job to control their kids. But as a coach, looks really badly on you, makes you look immature. And honestly, like if you're not disciplining these kids, like what's it really about? Like, do you want to be known as that like team that's like, okay, yeah, we talk a bunch of trash and, you know, like we have bad attitudes and we're super cocky and we get all kinds of flags and whatever. And then when the 7-on-7 season ends, we all go our separate ways. And then I help this kid mold into this like total POS, and now he's on his team and he's a cancer to his team, and he didn't actually really learn anything at my program because we ran a bunch of BS plays, and then that affects his actual program. Like you're doing more harm to the game than good, in my opinion. And then I'll be texting you guys once, like, you know, January rolls around, hitting you up for more money and having a tryout, but I know exactly who's going to be on the team. So that's my issue. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like there needs to be more discipline in the game and it needs to be more realistic. And if we can get those two things, I think 7-on-7 is great because there's a lot of positives that we're going to talk about, right? Now, before we get into the positives of 7-on-7, you guys, if you're a quarterback or wide receiver watching this video and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we're going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps this offseason, you guys. This is probably our third year doing 15 cities. Every single year they have sold out out way in advance, you guys. I'm talking like 3 to 4 months in advance. So we're releasing the schedule early this year so you guys can take advantage of the fact that we have open spots. So guys, make sure you sign up. Go to that very first link in the description below so you can get your spot. Our next camp is going to be in San Francisco, California. They'll be heading out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina, Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Then we'll be heading out to Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado. Then after Denver, we'll be coming out to Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So guys, local to any one of those cities, we'd love to have you out for 2 full days of training. We limit spots so we can work with each athlete directly, individually, and slow things down to explain things, because that's what training is about. So guys, if you want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. All right, so now let's talk about the positives. All right, so I want to talk about positives. I don't want everything about this to be negative. I would say like the positives of 7-on-7 is really going to be a chemistry deal, and receivers and DBs I think get the most benefit out of it. So if you're a quarterback, I recommend playing 7-on-7 with the receivers that you're going to play with in 11-on-11. And a lot of people think that 7-on-7 is good for exposure and is good to get you offers. I'll tell you that right now, it's false, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But football, like 7-on-7, is about building like skills for 11-on-11, building skills for the fall, right? So if you're a quarterback, why are you throwing to 4 receivers from 4 different schools? How is that going to help you? Like, it might help you read defenses, understand plays, get those game reps, but like, dude, be on a team, even if you guys are not the greatest, like even if you guys aren't like freaking, Hellstar or whatever the freaking good teams' names are, like if you have 4 guys that you're actually going to play 11-on-11 with, you guys are all getting better, you guys are all developing chemistry, and that helps you win games and make plays when it matters, because guys, college coaches want to see 11-on-11 film, not t-shirt and shorts and you're in your underwear film like 7-on-7, right? Now, I think the other benefit is for receivers and DBs, because DBs get a lot of man coverage work, they get a lot of zone coverage work. Receivers need to understand how to run routes efficiently because there's actually a timer. I think that's great about 7-on-7. Then it doesn't let the quarterback, hold the ball for forever, doesn't let receivers do a bunch of fancy BS like they would do in one-on-ones where there's no timer. So I think it helps with receivers understand like, hey, I got to run my routes fast, I got to get used to that tempo. So those are all positives of 7-on-7, you guys. And 7-on-7 is one of the best tools that you can use in the offseason to get better, because you're getting live game reps. It's not flag, it's not 5-on-5, it's 7-on-7. So if you're a skilled player, 7-on-7 is great. It's just what you do with it, who you surround yourself with, the coach and the team that you play on. Right? Now, I got to talk about the offers thing, because a lot of people, like, I did a podcast with a guy who was like an ex-Florida or ex-Miami quarterback, and, he was talking about how, like, 7-on-7 can help guys get recruited, but at the same time, he was like, it can help guys get recruited if they're making, like, absolutely insane, like, acrobatic plays. So he said, like, if you're in a 7-on-7 tournament and you catch, like, 20, 30 touchdowns, right? But they're all, like, walk-in touchdown, running a post, running a fade, whatever, like, that's not going to get you any notoriety. But if you have a clip that goes like viral on social media of you doing like a one-handed grab, like, or shaking somebody out of their shoes, a really flashy play, maybe that could get you some eyeballs. But like, here's the problem, you guys. Like, if any college coach sees that, what's the first thing they look for? Does he have varsity film? And if you don't have varsity film, it does not matter, because like, it's t-shirt and shorts, it's not real football. Can he do that in pads and a helmet and when it's under the bright lights? So 7-on-7 can help you get recruited in a sense that it's going to improve your skills. So when you have the pads on, you're a better player. So that's my deal. Don't think it's going to get you offers, because it's not. If you have a coach, 7-on-7 coach, who's well connected, let's say he knows a lot of college coaches, he's a recruiting guy. If he puts you onto a coach, that coach might be like, hey, yeah, like you're really fast, like you have good hands, you run good routes, or you're a quarterback, you have a really strong arm. Do you have any varsity film? No, I don't. Okay, talk to me when you have varsity film. So you need the film, guys, like you need the film. And you might make a connection, great. Like you might get more followers on social media because OT7 posted you, great, fantastic, like that's all awesome. But like, don't think that you being on 7-on-7 team is gonna get you exposure, offers, and real offers, because it's not, okay? So that's all I'm gonna say on 7-on-7, you guys. Do I think it's ruining football? No. But there are a lot of things that I dislike about 7-on-7 that I feel hurt athletes more so than help athletes, okay? So now, fellas, like I said, we're gonna get into some questions that you guys left on a previous previous episode. So guys, you guys know the deal. If you watch our YouTube channel, I read and respond to every single comment that you guys leave, and the best comments I feature on episodes of our show. So guys, go to that comment section below this video, leave your comments there, and I'd be happy to read and respond, and then obviously feature you if I feel like it's a good question that can give everybody some value. So, question number 1 from FireMuffin23. Ever had an athlete suffer from shin splints? If so, how did they solve it? Yeah, had that all the time. 3 exercises that you could do, like you put your foot, go barefoot, put your foot flat and put it under a towel and try to grab the towel with your toes, and that just kind of like strengthens the muscle like kind of around your ankle and around your shin. Then what you could do is heel walks. So stand just on your heels with your toes up and walk for about 10 yards. You'll feel that around your shin as well. And then stand on your tippy toes and just walk on your tippy toes for the same amount of distance. 3 things you can do to help battle shin splints, okay? So I hope that helps, man. Now, next question from Fisk Sherman. Hey, coach, play quarterback. I'm a QB battle. What's the most ideal things to do, and what should I do if I lose? What's the weight range for a 7th grade quarterback? So if you're in a position battle at the quarterback position, most important thing is you just got to put the team in a better position to win than the other guy, because the quarterback position is all about winning. You're the leader of the team. You're the guy. All eyes are on you. So what winning comes down to doing is making the other guys better around you by elevating your game, right? So like you need to understand that like every single play you have a job. It's a very specific job. You're either handing the ball off, carrying out your fake. You're throwing an accurate pass, making the right read. When you break it down, super simple. So like that's what you need to focus on. How can I do my job as a player perfectly? Nobody's perfect, but you should hold yourself to that standard. How can I do my job perfectly to where everybody else is better and where I'm carrying my weight? And that, if you have that type of dedication to your craft, I feel like everybody else's play on the field has to elevate because they have to rise to you, because as a quarterback, you're the leader. And if you can do that more consistent than the other guy, you will win the quarterback battle. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, dude. Appreciate you asking that. Now, next question. I'm 13 years old going into my 8th grade year, but I'm sometimes unconfident in my ability to throw. Any advice? So when it comes to athletes having confidence, I really think it comes from 2 things. It comes from the work, and it comes from positive self-talk. So if you want to be confident, it's not going to happen overnight. Like you got to be doing stuff literally every single day to improve your skills and make you better, right? Like think about it from like a personal aspect. Let's say if somebody struggles with like confidence in themselves, right? Like they're not super confident, you know, whatever. Like you need to be doing things every day to improve your confidence if you want to get if you want to be a more confident person. Like you need to get out there, talk to people, even if you sound stupid at first. You need to get into the gym, improve your body, because that makes you feel a little bit more confident. You know what I mean? Like you need to read books on it. Like you need to do things that will improve your skills. So same thing as a quarterback, receiver, whatever. You got to put in the time every single day to improve your skills so you're more confident in those skills. And then when you have those skills, you can't be telling yourself that I'm not that good. You know, like, oh, what if I fail? No, you need to be saying positive things to yourself. I am good. I've done the work. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I am, you know what I mean? Like those 2 things is what's going to help you with confidence in any aspect of really anything when it comes to football. Okay, so I hope that helps, man. I appreciate you asking that question. All right, fellas, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this episode, but seriously, appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope this was able to help. Hope you guys got some value out of this. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate. Post those in the comment section below. We always love hearing from you guys, and we'll see you next time.